Hello.
Hey everyone,
Hi, everybody.
can you guys hear us? Yep.
Oh, there you are. Hi.
Hey everyone, I think I see some chat message, Jesse. Yeah, that's
Welcome.
great.
Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, are you guys like in a room? Can I see you all? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. There's people in a room together. Woo!
I see some messages, Jesse, right? They're saying, "Hey Arshit and Jesse, nice to see you back,
Oh
back
yes.
together again." Yeah.
It's so funny because Harshit and we kind of like he's my brother from another mother. I always say that. And so no matter where he works, we're still gonna be Harshit and Jesse.
All right. Yeah.
Welcome, TCO Regional Event. Yay!
I'm actually, I'm Jesse. This is the eighth India regional event. We've done that 7 times in a row. Managed it, being there. So welcome to all the Topcoder and MongoDB community. Thank you for being here together. And we are as now being a part of MongoDB. Really excited to host both the communities together to come and meet each other and learn something great, network, have some fun, and enjoy this day. I'm really excited to welcome everyone to the MongoDB office. I hope that's a great place where we can, host the event and you enjoy a lot today. So yeah,
Awesome. Thanks, Harsha. It's so nice to be here with you, and thank you to MongoDB for sponsoring. So, we ready to get this event started, you guys? Yay! All right. So, we have some really awesome things for you today. And before we jump in, I really wanted to give a shout out to our CEO, Doug Hansen, who put together something for us. Now, for those of you who don't know me, didn't even introduce myself. I apologize. I'm Jessie from Topcoder, and I'm so grateful to be here. And I'm so grateful to have all of you here as well. And our CEO, Doug Hansen, put together a special message for you. So we're going to share that first, and then we're going to share some more fun stuff for you guys.
There are so many talented people in this world that never get a chance to show their potential, and it might be because of where they live, the way they look, how they interview, or their available time to work, their education, their gender, their race, their religion, etc. All things that should have nothing to do with getting a chance to show your potential. But because of workplace biases and old ways of thinking how work needs to get done, they do hinder your potential. And that's where Topcoder comes in. We want to see that potential unlocked. We don't have biases. We just care that you get the work done. We know that when someone's potential is unlocked, they're going to be happier, they're going to be more inspired, they're going to be more passionate, and they'll want to do their best. And as a result, the world is going to see better outputs and higher quality results.
All right. Thank you, Doug, for that really inspiring message. There's been a lot going on at Topcoder, but we're so excited for the direction and all the amazing things we're going to be doing. But enough about that. I really want to share some fun stuff with you guys. So I'm going to bring up my screen and we're going to go over some community highlights for this amazing region. So, Southern Asia. You guys are one of our most amazing regions. So, congratulations to all of you. Round of applause. Some of the things I wanted to highlight is we had our Wix Hackathon winner, Deepak Kumar. I don't know if he's here today. I think he is. But we are so proud to have him in our community. He had an amazing story that he shared this past year, and we're just so glad to have him in our community. So thank you, Deepak Kumar. You guys are the most engaged group in Discord. Absolutely. So we love that this region is so passionate and dedicated to being engaged at Topcoder. And a highlight is our first ever sponsorship with MongoDB. It's our first time at your office. It's our first time working with you guys. And we're so excited. And we hope that we can do more in the future, bringing our communities together. Because it's really about opportunity, right? We want to provide amazing opportunities for all of you and for all of the members out there, regardless of the community. So thank you so much, Mongo. I'm really loving your office vibe there. The orange chairs, super cool. Love it. So, and thanks to everybody who's able to come out to the office today to join. So let's talk a little bit about community here in Southern Asia. So this is to date, this number, over $17 million in prizes we paid out to Southern Asia region. This is to date, and I left it in here purposely because that's just mind-blowing number. So all of you have been able to do amazing work for us and have earned this amount of money over the past, since 2001, which is pretty incredible. Out of the 10 countries we've joined, we've had a lot of new members this past year. So thank you so much for being such an amazing region. And we really wouldn't be a community without our Southern Asia region. So thank you, everybody. So Topcoder Open, we're here for our first regional event in person in the longest time. I feel like it was just yesterday that the team was in Jaipur in 2019 with all the amazing things that they had in place for you. If you guys were there, let us know who was in Jaipur in 2019. It was definitely an event, and I had plans to head to India for the TCO20 regional event. That was my plan. I was taking the whole family to India, and then there was a pandemic, so that didn't work out. But I'm really excited to make sure that we're able to bring people together again, even if it's hybrid for now, in hopes that next year it'll be even better. So this year we've got t-shirts. Everyone's getting a t-shirt who attends this event. So I'm really excited to ship out these awesome TCO22 sheet t-shirts to show how awesome you are. You guys earned it. So t-shirts are coming. I always like to share the shirt and the design because I know how much t-shirts matter to you guys. And then we're going to be selecting someone from each region to get a nice swag pack. So if you're here today and you're competing and you're part of the events, then we're gonna select one of you specifically from Southern Asia to get a nice swag pack. Everyone loves a good swag pack, right? So definitely stay tuned for that. We'll make those announcements on Tuesday. Love to ship out some fun stuff to you. Now, we're going to jump right into the regional awards because I don't have a lot of time. So these guys have an amazing agenda for you today. So I don't want to take up too much time, but it is important that we have some awards. So first off, we have some top performers from the region from TCO22. And these are the folks who had the most points in each of these tracks. So congratulations to E06 Widu, I'm going to totally butcher that handle, Stark, Balakrishna _V, Kojam, Shimvib66, and Sayanten Day. So congratulations to these amazing members in the region. These are the top performers from your region in each track. So everybody give them a round of applause. Yay, congratulations. Awesome. And then we are really excited to do one more award. So this award we started last year. I'm really proud of it. And we like to award the shining star of the region. And that's somebody who is active in our community, who's engaged in our community, who's helpful, who's all around great individual. And that person is going to win an awesome Topcoder backpack and swag kit, a Topcoder hoodie. Everybody loves a Topcoder hoodie. Although in your region, you can't wear hoodies that often, right? It's not always that cold. Although I guess some areas it is. So without further ado, I'm very excited to announce our Shining Star winner of this year. Drum roll. Congratulations to Kojam. Yes, I hope he's here. So Kojam is the Shining Star winner for this region. He has been a rock star in development, QA. He's a co-pilot. He's our champion of TCO. And the reason why we selected him is not only for his amazing accolades as a competitor and all he does competitively, but also for he jumped into Discord and has been a really great moderator. He's always helpful with our members and an all-around great guy. He's running the QA tournament for this event. And so I thought it was really important that we award Kojam with this awesome award. So congratulations to Code Jam on winning Shining Star. We're so proud of you, and we can't wait to see you at TCO. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so that's it from me, you guys. I didn't, as I said, want to take up too much time because there's so many amazing things going on. Um, and I don't want you guys to miss out on any time with all the cool things that we have and the cool speakers and all the stuff that MongoDB has in shape for you. So I just want to send another thank you to Mongo for hosting. A big thank you to the Topcoder team out there, Kalindi and Shashank, who are working super hard to get this event running and to be here live. Aaron, who's behind the scenes, you're not going to see him. And we have a number of great speakers. And of course, we have to thank Harsha. Let's bring him up real quick because I just want to see him one more time. So, Harsha, if you're there, I'm so happy to be here with you virtually at different companies, but still together at TCO Regional. This like makes my entire day. I'm wearing my heart earrings.
Yeah,
I'm so happy for all of you guys.
and I'm so glad that I'm there for the eighth one as well. So in a row. So yeah, and happy to see the community coming together and doing this. Thanks to Topcoder for organizing these amazing events.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys. That's it from Topcoder. I hope you enjoyed this event. Please enjoy it and everything that we have in store for you this afternoon. So, looking forward to seeing you guys soon. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Hi, I'm Kushagra. So I'm from MongoDB. I hope I think I'm audible. Yeah, yes. Great. Let me share my screen and get started. I hope my screen is visible. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Kushagra. I'm the software engineer at MongoDB, and I'm working with MongoDB from last 1.5 years. So hi guys, how you're doing? So here we are with my colleague Asavari, who is also a software engineer, and we are here to like make you aware of the schema designing. So here we are talking about the schema designing using MongoDB. So where here our talk will be related to how you can make and innovate the application faster using the MongoDB. Okay, so our agenda will be around how to do a good schema design, the relationship and mapping in MongoDB, embedding and referencing, MongoDB tools, followed by community, university, and certification. But before jumping into that, I would love to know that how many of you have really used MongoDB, know what is MongoDB about SQL, NoSQL databases. So I just want to know how many of guys. So you just have to type Y in the chat so I can understand how many of guys is aware of what exactly the MongoDB is. So I'm just checking the chat so I can get, yep, Abhishek, great. Yes, I have used, great. Mohammed, Sarth, Divang, great. Okay, of course, great, awesome. So so I think more than I think 5 to 7 peoples out of whatever people are present know about MongoDB. So MongoDB is a non-relational database management kind of a software, you can say a cloud software where we use MongoDB. And it's like, if you are aware of the database, we follow two type of SQL languages. One is SQL languages, one is not no SQL languages. So MongoDB uses a no SQL language for the queries and all those purpose, but it's a non-relational database. Non-relational means we don't have to define a relationship between the tables and all those stuff. Okay, so let's get started. So the first one I'm going to talk about, whenever you are designing whenever you are designing an application, you first think about the database. What data do I have? like actually what you are building. You are building a restaurant app, e-commerce application, blockchain application, MLI application. What exactly data do you have? That is the one thing come into the mind. So after you decide that, okay, this is the data I'm going to have. So here we are also taking one of the example. So we are taking example of very famous application we will discuss later. So when you think about a database, you have decided, okay, these are the data you are going to query, you are going to save in the database. Then your approach come, what is your database design approach? Then it really depends, as I mentioned earlier, that it depends upon the use cases, that what exactly you are building. Okay, but whenever you have decided that, okay, I am going to build say for example a ticket booking app, okay, or e-commerce application, then you will think about the schema designing. And now here it comes, that what are the schema designing? So what are the things you have to keep in mind while designing the schema? So first you have to reduce the write and read cost. You have to be very specific about the data redundancy. Okay, you have to be very specific about the data inconsistency, that you have to maintain a data consistent across all the collections. You have to be sure about the integrity of data, like correctness of the data. You have to be sure that how you store a data, so you can do a rapid retrieval of a data from different collections and different tables. You have also to make sure that all the data you are keeping, all the confidential data you are keeping is secure yet accessible to all those folks who are like have the access. So these are the things you have to make sure before designing a good schema. And when the schema is good, the retrieval is faster, the read write cost is less, and you can build your application much faster. Okay, now what are the rules of database design in MongoDB? There are no rules, because it depends upon the use cases. But yeah, we will discuss about a schema that will work well for your given application. So here we have considered a so here we will see about the MongoDB schema design, and we will also consider one of the application here. So first we will see how to store the data, that in what way you are storing a data in the MongoDB. Second one, how you will increase your query performance, that read and write costs should be very less. You can get you can get all the result in very less amount of time whenever you are retrieving data from the databases. And how you can use a reasonable amount of hardware on the cloud, also in on your local host. Okay, so here we are taking a use case of Book My Show application. Book My Show application is very famous application within India to book movie tickets and comedy tickets around the country. So here we are taking a ER diagram of Book My Show, in which we have movies, which we have shows, booking, user, cinema hall, and all the tables, and they all are linked via one to one to many, and different types of relationship. Okay, so now we are going to take this use case as an example, and then we will run our um, run our deck, that how you can design this ER diagram in MongoDB. Okay, and we will also compare how it's better, like how it will be more better compared to the RDBMS approach. Okay, so firstly we are going to understand that how you store it in a relational database. So like I've seen, you can see on the left side, it's a city table, and inside the city table we have New Delhi, Noida, and Gurugram with all their states and zip code. But when it comes to MongoDB, you can store it in a document format. This particular document format, let me come up with a laser point. So this particular is a single document, and this all document in is known as a collection. So like you can say aggregate document is a known as collection. Collection is a similar word for the table. So table is like in RDBMS in SQL, and collection is in the MongoDB. So here we store is has a key value pair in a JSON format. So you can see we have stored in ID1 name New Delhi. So all these things are the key, and all these are the value. So it's in the key value pair we store in the MongoDB here. So now we will understand that if you have learned about the embedding and referencing, it's very similar to joins in SQL. So referencing is very similar to join in SQL. So we will learn about this, that how it's when you have to do embedding and when you will have to do referencing. So for example, take a case of here like booking and a user. So a user will have a multiple booking. So instead of making two different tables, a user one and booking one, you can what you can do in MongoDB, you can just combine it inside a single document. Like what I have done, I have embedded the booking format within my user collection. So I don't need to create two separate collection, one for booking, another for users, and in that way I can retrieve the data very easily from a single collection. I don't need to write two different queries which will go to two different collections, that is, or two different tables, and get the data. So this is a embedding that we are documenting within a single document. Okay, so how it's different? So for example, you can see embedding and referencing app. We have seen the difference. So embedding is like you are placing your document within a document, so it will known as a sub document. For example, a particular city will have a lot of cinema halls, and that will be a considered embedding. Apart from, if you have a lot of cinema hall in a particular city, you can do a referencing is similar to join. So what you will do, you will do a one to many referencing, in which scenario that will be a lot of cinema halls will be have a separate collection which will be referencing to a city in a separate collection, and you can get all the cinema hall from a city id. So that is a referencing which is very similar to join in SQL. Now we will see that what are the pros and cons of embedding and when you can do embedding part. So the pros are, you can retrieve all the data with a single query because you have embedded the data within one single document. You can avoid expensive joins and lookup. When I say expense joins, it means you have to write two queries and it will have to read the two different tables or two different collection. That will increase the read and write cost. And you can update all the data with a single atomic operation, and that will be really fast. What are the cons is, if you really go on and adding more and more document in a single collection, in a single document, like adding more and more sub document, it will be a large single document which will be more overhead. But but using a dollar project operator in MongoDB, you can get rid of this. So you can also read about dollar project in on the official documentation of MongoDB. And another cons is that the particular size of a document is 16 MB in the MongoDB. So you cannot store the more than 16 MB of data in one particular document. These are the cons of embedding. So when it comes that, okay, now I cannot embed a data because I have a very huge data, I cannot embed within a one single, then it comes referencing. Okay, when you cannot embed, do a referencing. So here what we have done, so here you can see we have referenced the two object id within a city id, which is referencing to a single document, of a city, and it is having a array of all the city id, which is like showing that, okay, you can use a dollar lookup operator and you can fetch all the data from the different city collection, and it will have all the movie details. So you need to use a lookup operator to get these data using a table. And how it is linked? It is linked using the object id. Object ids are similar to a primary key which is using a SQL. Okay, so this is a referencing part. Now, what are the cons of the referencing and the pros? The pros are that it is very smaller document. The document size is very small. It is less likely to reach 16 MB limit, and there is no duplication of the data. What are the cons? That you have to write two different queries, or you have to use dollar lookup, which is required to retrieve all the data, because dollar lookup, what it does, it go bi-directional into two different collection and fetch the data, which increase the read and write cost. So these are the referencing cons. Now we will understand that what are the types of relationship. So you have used that SQL, then you might be familiar with one-to-one, one-to-few, one-to-many, and many-to-many relationship. So when we talk about one-to-one, a single booking will have a single payment method, that is one-to-one relationship. When you talk about one-to-few, a single user has a multiple booking. Like for example, me, Kushagar, can have like multiple ticket booking using Book My Show application. So a single user will have multiple booking. One-to-many is like a city can have many cinema hall. Like for example, consider you are from New Delhi, the capital of India. It can have like more than 100 plus cinemas hall. So it have one-to-many relation. Let's last one is many to many. Many to many means that a particular cinema will have many shows. Like throughout the day, it is running many shows, and a movie will have different show timings. So it is a many to many relationship. We will see these all the concept in much um, in a brief manner, or not. We have very less time, but yeah. So here I'm taking a use case of book my show example. So focus on the ER diagram. There are two tables. One is a booking one is a payment. So we are considering that a particular booking will have a one payment method. So in MongoDB, what you will do in a one-to-one relationship, a particular booking will have a booking ID which will be referencing to a payment table having a booking ID. This is a one-to-one relationship. A one booking method cannot have more than one payment methods. Okay. So this is a key value pair approach. So here we are using a key value pair. Next, we will talk about one to few. Like I have said, we will take a consider that a particular user will have a multiple bookings. So what we will do, a particular user have a multiple booking. So we will embed the data. So in one to few relationship, we prefer embedding over referencing because it have a few data. So we can embed within document and it will not likely increase the 16 MB size limit. After that, it's one to many. One to many, we will consider cinema and city. So a particular city will have a multiple cinema halls. And in that scenario, what we are doing, we are referencing a cinema hall ID inside a city collection, and that is referencing different cinema halls in a cinema hall collection. So that one to many. Here we are referencing apart from embedding because we will have a lots of cinema hall within a one city. Last one, many to many. Many to many here focus on three, that is source, cinema hall, and cinema. So let us consider that you have a particular cinema hall. Let's say it's a PVR cinema in New Delhi, and it have a cinema ID 678. And in that particular cinema hall, there is a movie recently came, for example, The Gray Man. The Gray Man is the movie, and this movie will have a multiple show timings. That some show will be in the morning, some will be in afternoon, and some will be in night. So a cinema hall will have running a lot of movies, like say 5 movies, The Gray Man or the Marvels movie, any movie you want, you can name it. And all these movie will have a different show timings. So it will like 5 movies having five each shows within a day. So it will have a many to many relationship. So cinema hall with reference to cinema hall ID will reference to cinema hall collection, and then movie ID will reference to movies collection. In that way it will have a many to many relationship. And here we are anyhow preferring referencing because it will not create, because we have a lot of movies, lot of show time, so it will not create a lot of. If we will prefer embedding, then it will create a large documentation which is more likely to reach 16 MB, and so we don't want that, so we will prefer referencing. So you have to understand with the relationship that when you will prefer referencing and when you will prefer embedding. But there are some rules that always favor embedding, whatever the reason is, because whenever you prefer embedding, you have to just write a single query and you can get a collection. But whenever your array is like going out of bond, always use joins, lookups, or referencing, because it will definitely decrease the size of the documentation, and it will definitely give you very developer productivity on how to query the data from your database. And also consider the read write ratio. And at the last, it depends that what specific app you are building, and that's what exactly data set and data schema design that particular application need on the basis of the data you are receiving and you are retrieving. Okay. Okay, I hope it's fine. And over to Asavir. Yeah.
How can we share? Present. Hi everybody, I am Asavri, an alumni of an IT culture. I have been in MongoDB for 6 months now, and yes, I am here to introduce you to some and give you some demo on how MongoDB tries to do it in a more developer productive way. So let's get started. So the main focus of MongoDB is to increase the developer productivity, and hence we are doing it here in the form of various products and tools. So I would give you an introduction of about at how do we improve the developer experience. We have Atlas, we have Compass, we have Mongo Shell, and we have the MongoDB plugins embedded into the VS Code. So I think most of you might be aware of VS Code since you are the budding developers of the nation. And then let's get ahead with Atlas. How does Atlas look like? So once you are logged into cloud.mongodb.com, you get to see a structure where you get to see this, and then here you can see you can create your own clusters. For the very initial stage, you can do M0 cluster, and then you can start ahead creating your own aggregations, creating your own collections. So this is how it will look like. If you go to the Atlas and create a database, this is how this your collection would look like. It would basically give you a UI of how the data is getting stored. Next, we have is Compass. The Compass is very similar to Atlas, and then it shows uh, how the collections are stored there, and then you can play around with the collection, use aggregations, and import it in your language of your choice. Also, Compass comes with Mongo Shell, which you can use it. It's just basically would look like this, and you can use it in your terminal as well as in your Compass. And there, when you have the connection URL, you can just log into your collection. You can just log into your cluster and then use the databases in your own way. For the next is, I think most of you might be aware of VS Code since it is a very trending IDE which is being used by most of the developers now. So uh, VS Code comes with this embedding, which if you can see my screen and my pointer, it says this is the MongoDB icon, and then you need to give the connection URL, and then you are just good to go to use all the queries and applications. Now, I, with Kushagra, work as a part of MongoDB community, and hence I would like to introduce you to the MongoDB community platform, where it's a community of various developers coming together, helping each other to build and grow. And these are all MongoDB enthusiasts trying to learn about different concepts, products, and everything about MongoDB. So this is how you can get in touch with us as well. This is where you can post in your questions. This is where if you have any doubts related to any drivers or any questions related to MongoDB, we would be there to help you. MongoDB also provides and helps the budding developers to learn about MongoDB, and hence we have a university platform. The university platform basically has a lot of courses, and these are all free, available, accessible everywhere. You can do it at your own pace, has different exercises, and hence becomes interesting for you as well. So we have two learning paths as of now from the MongoDB University. One is the developer learning path, where these are the courses where you can enroll into. These are all again free, accessible everywhere, and these basically starts from very basic of MongoDB to the advanced level of MongoDB, and specifically related to the developer learning path. The second we have is the DBA learning path, where you could follow these courses and then you become master of MongoDB in the DBA path. Along with these two learning paths, MongoDB also provides MongoDB Developer Associate Certification and MongoDB DB Associate Certification. Now, why certification matters, as you all know, to stand out in the crowd and to build yourself to get more money, basically, and then hence certification matters. So once you are done with all the learning path, be it developer or a DBA, feel free to reach out to us, and then we would help you to get into the certification exam. So right now I would just let you know the statistics of how it is. So right now we have around 4200 professionals, certified professionals all over the globe, giving two kind of exams, again developer and the DBA. And we have around 196 countries globally representing about MongoDB certification. So you can be a part of the community of the certified professionals. You can avail the discount. So right now the certification cost around is $150, but so there's this benefit to every one of you. If you have completed the learning path, feel free to reach out to us and we would give you a 100% discount code as well. And for any support, we are there at certification@mongodb.com. So if you have any questions related to MongoDB, if you ever in your life face any questions related to MongoDB, come to the forums and post in your questions and we would be glad to help you all. Thank you.
Thank you for a great talk and presentation, Savari and Kushagra. Now we will take a short media break to watch the Topcoder Passion Economy documentary, which showcases 5 of our Topcoder members who have chosen the gig passion economy as the path to success. Thanks.
It's not easy for people with kids to start over their lives. It's the, I don't know, it's the economy, it's the country, it's the... I have very negative experiences. People just look at you and tell you that you are lying, you were not working for them. As an example, I have like companies which are Hungarian governmental organizations. Projects which I just let go, don't care. And it's so good. How is it when people value your work and they are happy with it and they say it? It's such a different experience for me. It's really, really good.
Sometimes when I wake up in the morning and still working, but she's happy and she likes it. And that's such a special thing to find something that you really like to do.
Anyone I told about my job, they had no idea what I was talking about. And sometimes I feel like quite weird because they look at me like I was crazy.
Mom is shy from some point of view, but also she's real brave. And I'm so proud of her that she tried this new thing.
I'm the boss here, actually. I'm the one who has to be conscious enough, and then if I am conscious enough with my time, then I can do actually anything I want. So I can go around in the morning if I want to. I can spend time with my daughter as much as I want to.
When you work in science, it's difficult to develop your career further. Even if I would start my own research laboratory, I don't think it's like really gives you that much money. So this model of the DNA molecule, which is related to the first Topcoder challenge I participated in, it has the first prize, $8,000, which was quite a lot for me. And I think it was like 1 month's run, so 8,000 for 1 month, it was pretty cool. And even like the 4th place here has like 1,500 price, which was the same almost like my monthly pay. So yeah, after a few months completing Coder, realizing it is a stable income source for me, I decided that I can move to a nicer place to live. So I choose Valencia, like a large town, but still not that busy and crowded as Madrid or Barcelona. You're getting better life. You always can dream about something bigger. So you think, oh, I should work more and harder, then I can afford more stuff. Maybe I'm dreaming one day I buy a yacht and start sailing on a yacht. To the skills and experience I get a Topcoder, probably one day I can, I don't know, start to do even more profitable project beyond the Topcoder. I think everybody should start thinking about making some independent project and business of his own, which then bring you to even high incomes and better life.
I took a very unorthodox path when I was younger. I left school early to start my own company. I went to Harvard for university for a couple of years and then I dropped out. I really just wanted to be out here. Like I wanted to be building real things and making things happen. I've always been a very competitive person, and I try to use competitive nature just in terms of like trying to push for us to hit the best goals as a team whenever possible. It's easy for a lot of people to look at programming itself, or all of these different paths that aren't the typical orthodox path, and to say that they're weird or to say that they're strange or different, and it's easy to feel that way, of course. There's nothing wrong at all with taking a different path. It's possible to take a different path too, and to be able to relate and to fit in. I have a full-time job running a startup, and obviously it's very, very busy, and there's lots going on all the time. And it's kind of crazy to imagine that, right? Because, you know, working at a software company, you would think that the last thing you would want to do to relax is to program more. But somehow just that environment and the problems and just kind of getting to think about these and get to test my skills against the best competitors in the world. A really good problem shows you not just how to solve the problem itself, but it also shows you this intuition or this pattern that applies many, many places, right? And it's the same idea that can carry over and over. And that's, I think, something that's really, truly satisfying to explore.
I have two kids who need me almost every time. I had to quit my job because of her. Not many people in India get to work from home. Everyone says the same. I'm the only person they know who is working from home. What I was making in 30 days, some 5 years back, I'm making the same amount of money in 3 days. Yeah, I don't want to tell to anybody because really, because the competition is huge. The more people I say, the more competition I get. I don't want to tell about Topcoder to anybody. I am a tough competitor. I need to be strong from the beginning till the end, till the last very minute. We are comfortable with competitions. We grew up with competitions. In education, we have a lot of competitions. We have to do our best to get into good college. So it is easy for us to compete in Topcoder when compared to the competition we had during colleges.
Most of the people I know, they just sit there and wish that things happen to them. Like they say, I wish I had a better car, I wish I was making more money, but they do nothing about that. I make changes to make things happen. Karditsa is a small city in the center of Greece with a very relaxing vibe. What I like most about my city is that I'm very close to the nature. I don't really feel the need to move to a bigger city. I think you don't have to be in a big city to make big things happen. You can work remotely and make the same money with someone who lives in the Bay Area. As a co-pilot at Topcoder, I communicate with the clients to understand their needs on creating any type of software. I have to analyze the problem, split it into smaller problems, and then assign it to the appropriate group of people. When I get out of the military, I wasn't quite sure what I should do next in my life. I realized that I don't have many options, so I had to choose a path. I had to figure out what to do next, and I was very confused.
Από εκεί και πέρα, κάθε δυσκολία σε κάνει πιο δυνατό. Κάθε δυσκολία, ο πιο δυνατός αντίπαλος. Επίσης μετά να νικάς τους φόβους. Βλέπεις ένα πολύ δυνατό αντίπαλο, τον φοβάσαι, θα με χτυπήσει, θα με κάνει.
So you only live once, so you have to make it count. You have to make things that make you happy. You have to have enough time to do different things, enjoy yourself, enjoy the nature, travel.
The first season I was competing, I managed to actually win a trip to Topcoder Open. And it was a big wow moment for me because I thought, oh wow, this is really cool.
When I was growing up, it was very hard to find people who had the same interests as me. And so, of course, getting to compete against people all over the world online was amazing. But I think really getting to meet them in person, getting to know them, and to make friends was especially valuable.
And I'm really looking forward to meet those people again. Quite soon, yay! So happy.
I've never met any Topcoder guys before, so I wanted to meet all the persons I've been interacting with them. This is an opportunity to be on the finals, gives me an opportunity to represent my country.
We've got a community of over 1.5 million people. We've flown in over 100 people to be here with us in Houston.
Supposed to be here now. My US visa was denied, so I couldn't make it. So I'm very much disappointed. This was something I was expecting for a very long time.
This year, the Spirit Award goes to Scott Wu.
I want to participate in Topcoder as long as I can, either to compete or to commentate or just to be part of the community. I mean, I really enjoy the community, so I would love to come back.
Actually, it's quite surprising that we are happy for each other's successes. I mean, it's, if you think about it, it's normal. We are human, but still, you don't really see this in other platforms because there is no community at all. People are not talking to each other, and here, especially the design community, is a really loving family. So many good friends, and this community who will stay with us forever, it seems.
Hey guys, I don't know about you, but this video, these stories bring shares to me to this day. So let's hear some more stories coming up. Let's welcome Sharath Kumar, who is one of our best Topcoder co-pilots. Sharath attended several Topcoder open events, and he is passionate community member. He'll be talking about using GraphQL with MongoDB and Topcoder competitions. Please welcome.
The Topcoder, and my day-to-day work is to manage clients' projects and then gather requirements, get it done. Are you guys able to hear me? Okay, great. So now let's get started. So I will be discussing about the Topcoder challenges, and then we'll be discussing about like how can you use GraphQL with MongoDB. Now let's move on to Topcoder challenges. So as you know, Topcoder is a crowdsourced community which will make people participate in challenges, and the outcome will be shared with the client. So we have different tracks of in the Topcoder. Like we have design track where members will be given some idea or something like a wireframe, and they have to come up with a designs and which can be implemented by developers. For example, there are many more portals like, for example, Citibank. I mean, many clients have actually used Topcoder to design many websites from top websites, and that will be implemented by our developers, and it can be hosted online. And then we have tracks called development, where we'll be developing actual softwares. It could be like a mobile app, or it can be a web app, or it can be something like automation scripts or something like that. So all those things fall under development track. And as part of the QA track, we'll be working on something like functional testing or like regression testing. Hello. Yeah. So, and we'll be working on something like regression testing, functional testing, and then automated testing pieces will be falling under the QA track. And we have some more tracks like data science, which will be working on something like machine learning problems. Nowadays, machine learning is becoming like machine learning and AI is becoming a more trend. So we are working on those kind of challenges as well. And apart from the development piece coding pieces, we have other tracks called single round matches, where you will be working on some competitive programming things like any algorithm based challenges. And marathon matches also is also a kind of algorithmic problem, but it will run for a longer time compared to a single round match which will be run for few hours. And then for it improve the community participation, and then to motivate empower the developers in the community, we are having something called rapid development match and skill builder challenges. For example, if there is a new skill, let's say blockchain, if we want to empower our community to be more well versed with the blockchain, so we'll be running something called blockchain skill builder challenges, which will enable them to learn more about the particular technology. So there are a lot of different types of challenges in Topcoder, and we run challenges on most of the technologies like React, Angular, Vue.js. And from the backend perspective, if you look at most of the challenges are on Node.js, Python, and Java. And we have developed mobile applications also using like React Native, Swift, and Cypress. And from the from the QA side, we have different tracks like functional testing, regression testing, automated testing. So more, if you know that, like, if you from in the community, we have so many good testers that if you give them any application to test, they can find out any edge cases or bugs in the application. So that is also a part of our testing pieces. And to know more about the Topcoder challenges, there is a link here. I will be sharing in the chat history. So you can go through this one to know what different types of challenges are there, what is the rules for each and every challenge. You will be able to get an idea here. And then if you want to know how you can participate in the Topcoder challenges, let me show you a small demo of existing challenges and then how you can participate in it. First of all, you need to sign up for the Topcoder community, and once you sign up for the community, you can come to the topcoder.com challenges page, and here you will be able to see very different types of challenges. For example, you are a developer and you are interested in like development challenges only, you can search for the category or your category of challenges. For example, if you want to just check for a development challenges, let's just turn on the filter here. We have something, let's say there is a challenge running for a client. So we use the names with different names to identify different clients. For example, Icon is the client. For them, we are running a API design challenge. Okay, so in this challenge, you are expected to analyze the requirements and come up with a Swagger document which represent how many endpoints you are required to achieve that particular purpose. And then like you need to design a Swagger document for it, and that will be the final deliverable for the challenge. So here what happens in the challenge is the challenge will have many different phases like registration phase, and then submission phase and review phase, and the winners will be announced. Registration is nothing but if you want to participate in a challenge, first of all you have to register for the challenge within the deadline. So once you registered, you will be given some time, maybe like 3 to 5 days, during which you have to come up with a solution for the problem listed over here, and you will be able to submit. So once you submit, your submission will be evaluated during the review phase, and if on the review, and you will be the submission will be scored based on various parameters. For coding and then designing, there will be different types of parameters. So whoever gets the higher score, they will be awarded prizes. The first person will be, for example, this challenge, they'll be getting $1,000, and the second winner based on the score will be getting $500. So we have many different challenges, and based on the tech stack you are interested in, you can participate in any challenges. There is no barrier for you. You can participate in design challenge. So let's say you are a developer, you want to switch to a design track, you are always welcome to come and try out the design challenges also. There is no barrier for you to participate in the Topcoder challenges. Nothing will stop you. So this is all about the Topcoder challenges, and I have shared you the link which is detailing about the different types of challenges in Topcoder. You are always we are always open to questions, and whenever you have any doubts, you can always ask us. We are ready to answer that. And so this is the page where you can see the Topcoder challenges. Now coming on to the topic, so we will be going to discuss about what is GraphQL and how can we use GraphQL with the MongoDB. Okay, so now let's take a traditional way. Let's sorry, one second. So let's think of how the traditional APIs works, like our REST APIs. If I want to get something from a REST API, we need to call an endpoint, and then that point will return you some data. Okay, so in an application, there could be multiple entities. For example, if you're creating an API, there could be multiple entities in the database. For example, users, and the user can have something like a Instagram post or comments. They can be posting some photos, and there will be some notifications for them. So in a database, there could be multiple entities, and to query each and every entity, you will have a separate endpoint in a REST model. For example, this is a sample server which I will be just calling to get some mock data. So if you see it here, so there is something like a user endpoint which will give you the user data, and then like there is something called to do endpoint that will give the user to do's data. So here there is no control. There's no control for you to ask for what you actually need. For example, you may not need something like address or like company details. You might be just interested in the name, your username, but there is no way for you to control what data you are actually want. So in order to break that, GraphQL is a specification that tells you just it should empower the client to ask what they actually need and then get it exactly. Nothing more, nothing less. So if you are working on a database, you can directly go and write a query and get what you need. But think of an API in a client server model. So the client cannot control what they are getting. So if you just call an endpoint, you will get an data and you have to use it. But GraphQL wants to break that, and they have come up with this idea of ask what you want and get what exactly you need. Okay, so what the GraphQL specifications are, it is language agnostics. In any programming language we can implement the GraphQL, and there are multiple SDKs to implement it. But in this demo we will be using the Node.js tech stack, and then I will be explaining how you can use GraphQL along with the MongoDB. So when you create a GraphQL specification, there are two main things which you need to create. One is a schema. Schema is nothing but what kind of data you have and what is its data type. For example, if I have something called a user table, I should tell GraphQL, let's say I have a entity called user, and user will have something like user ID, name, and then like one second. So if you have to say like they will have a user ID, name, email address, and you will just specify the data type of it. So this will help to ensure that when the user is asking for a particular data, they are specifying the correct data type. For example, because you will be supporting filters also, right? So if you don't specify a data type, we won't be able to validate properly whether they are actually requesting for a proper data or not. So that's why when you are creating a schema, you need to specify what is your data and then what are its data types. So it's more like a metadata for your data collection. And then there is something called resolver. So this component will help you to get data from the underlying data source. So the resolver, it can connect to any database, like it can be a MySQL DB, it can be a MongoDB, or it can be a third-party API from which you will get the data. So resolver is nothing but with the function which is used to get data from the external data source and help GraphQL parse it and return back to user. So now when we go into a code level, then we will see how the schemas and resolvers are defined. So now I will be explaining the based on a code. So are you guys able to see my Visual Studio Code screen? Hello, can you see my Visual Studio? Okay, yeah. So here, this vision, in the vision. So here, I have written a code in Node.js. Okay, and I will be explaining about like how I have structured it. Okay, so to work with the GraphQL, you can select any libraries, and for this demo, I have chosen Apollo server because it comes with lot of enhancement of top of the GraphQL specification and the other libraries which exist. Okay, so I will be using Apollo server to create a GraphQL server on top of the MongoDB. Okay, so I will be sharing the link for this particular code. You will be able to go through it and then get an idea. And there is an instruction how you should run the application also. Okay, and to run MongoDB, I am actually using a Docker Compose locally, and I have loaded it up with some sample database with some data from this JSON placeholder.ip code. So if you see here, we have the 6 different types of entity: user, to-dos, album, post, etc. So if you see here, I have taken the export of those data and I'm using it to seed the MongoDB. Once it is seeded, I'm going to show you how you can use GraphQL to get those data. So in a typical way, how you will be getting the data is that you need to call. For example, if I want to get a user data, I have to call the user endpoint separately. If I want to get the album details, I need to call the album endpoint separately. So no single endpoint will give you all the information you need in a typical REST application. Okay. So now how we are going to achieve that getting all the data at once is that we are going to define something called the GraphQL schema, which I mentioned already. The schemas will specify what is the entity you have and what kind of fields it has. So this one will specify the comments is an entity. It has these many fields, and the field specification over is actually used for filtering. So this is the data which you are going to get from the database or any data source, and these fields can be used for filtering. So in a specification, there are two pieces. One is there is a fields that you can be selecting from the database for viewing, and this list of fields that can be used for filtering, because in some cases some fields cannot be used for direct filtering. For example, if you have something like a JSON field, then it cannot be used for filtering. So that time we may need to avoid filtering by those fields. So you have to specify what is required for filtering and what is required for display. So for every entity in our database, we need to create schemas like this, and then we have to create something called resolver. So what the resolver is will say is that for to get the user's entity, what function I need to call. So here you need to call one function to get the data for this particular user's entity. Okay. So how I have created the resolver is that we have created a single helper file which can directly query from the MongoDB. So if you see the statement here, it's just a single return statement. It's not like a Mongoose ORM, like where you have to create separate ORM files to interact with the MongoDB. So what I have done is that for every schema what you are defining here, you can directly use this function to retrieve the data from the MongoDB. Okay, so what this function will do is that it is just triggering a fine query with the fields what you will be specifying, and then the selected fields that is we call it as projection and then query, right? So we will specify what fields I need to get from the DB and what conditions should be used for filtering. So this function is written to get the data from the MongoDB. So this function, it can talk with MongoDB, or it can talk to MySQL, or it can even call an external API and they get the data. So the resolver should have a function which it can call to get the data. So here I have created a function to get the data from MongoDB. So now I'm going to show you how you can use the Postman to interact with our GraphQL server. Okay, so a Postman, if you know, it supports something called a GraphQL type. So it will auto fetch your schema, and it will help you when you are creating the query. It will help you auto complete the fields. For example, if the user's object, it has something called, so the user's object has something called a field called email. So when you start typing E, then it will suggest you whether are you looking for this email field. Then I can just select it. Then I will be able to fill in this body. So this once you post this body to the GraphQL server, you will be getting a response back from the server. Okay. So if you just see it here, what's actually happening is I am querying 4 different types of entities in a single call. In a single post call, I am getting the user information also, I am getting the to-dos information also, and I am getting both for albums and the post as well. But if you see in a typical REST API, what you need to do, you have to call 4 different endpoints. But instead of that, I am just calling a single endpoint, and even I'm applying a filter also. So what I have done here is that from the users table, I am just querying the user with just ID is equal to 1, and from to-dos, albums, and post, I'm also applying the same filter. Like whatever is the to-dos or albums associated with the particular user ID, I'm just filtering it. So if you see in this a single JSON object, you are getting all the data which you need. And here, if you see, you control what fields you need. So if you see here, let's say get users, you are just going to get the user ID 1. You will get all the fields here: ID, name, username, address, phone, website, which you may not need for your application. So as you all know, the number of the data which is transferred between the networks also cost you some time. For yours to improve the speed, you can limit what data you actually need. So that's why this gives you flexibility. Hey, I want just ID and username, I don't need an email, so I can just remove that field, then give a query. It will give you the exact data, nothing more, nothing less. So I can even include multiple filters, like 1, 2, 3. For I want to get for 3 users, I'm just triggering, so it will return details for all the 3 users. So this is the flexibility with GraphQL. And one more thing is that GraphQL supports both get also post. So you will be able to send the query over the query parameter query, or else you can send it via post endpoint also. If you are sending as a post, you will be sending in the body. If you are sending as a get request, you will be putting it in the query parameter. So if you see here, I am getting the list of all users with just ID and the username. So if you want to add, get more fields, you can just add more fields here. You will be able to get it easily. And here, one thing we need to notice is that the validation is very, very robust in the GraphQL. So if you're misspelling anything, or like if you are trying to filter something in a different data type also, it will throw you an error. For example, cannot query the, I'm just trying to, instead of email, I have just mentioned like EMAI. So it says there is no field called EMAI. Did you mean email? So I can make the corrections based on the validation written by the GraphQL. And similarly for the to-dos list, I mean the filtering fields also, instead of now a string, if I'm passing a string, let's say, it will tell you in validation, it's a non-integer value. So the GraphQL does the validation automatically. We have not written any, if you look at the code, you will get to know that there is no validators. We have not even written a single piece of validation in the code. The entire validation is taken care by the GraphQL specification and the Apollo server itself. So this gives you a flexibility to query any data which you might be looking for. Okay, so the code for this demo is actually hosted in. One second. The code is actually hosted here. You can check, go through this code, and we have the I have set up everything in the code base. Actually, there is a code to feed your MongoDB and then they bring it up, and there is a Postman collection to play around with the GraphQL APIs also. And everything is written in a configurable manner, like you can change any database if you want to connect to, if you want to change the port, if you want to add more schemas, you can add it. So please go through it. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. Like in the Topcoder Discord, you can always reach out to us if you have any questions. And do you have any questions right now? I'm sorry, my screen might be. I will stop sharing for a while. Then, based on the questions, I will share the screen again. Anything with GraphQL or like MongoDB, I mean, using GraphQL with MongoDB or Topcoder challenges, please feel free to ask. I'm sorry if there is an interruption in the middle. So how now that we have got a question that how is Postman able to know about the schema for auto completion? So what the thing is that the GraphQL servers support something called introspection. So the introspection is the ability to get what are the fields already defined in the GraphQL schemas. So if you enable introspection, any GraphQL client, not just the Postman, any GraphQL clients can know what are the fields actually existing in the particular schemas, and then you will be able to you will be able to use the auto completion feature. Not just Postman, there is something called the Apollo server also. They have tools, Apollo Studio, where you can just if you just post your API URL, it can also do an introspection for you and tell what are the list of fields available. And generally, you should enable introspection only in development and staging environments. And in production, they don't recommend enabling the introspection just to avoid exposing any sensitive fields or like details, something like that. Yeah, and if you have any questions, you can also use the question and answer tab, and then like we'll check the question and answer tab, and then we'll be answering you. So hope you have got some idea about what is GraphQL and how you should use it with MongoDB. And I am damn sure going forward, GraphQL will become the de facto standard for all the APIs, because that gives you a lot of flexibility on how the clients can get the data from the service. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Deepak.
Thanks, Sharat. Yeah, thank you, Sharat. So GraphQL has definitely transformed the development paradigm across the globe, similar to Topcoder, who has transformed the lives of many across the globe. And one such amazing story of a great journey of one of our Topcoder community members, Deepak Kumar, is up next. He will share why he wants to be the part of the community and more about his experience. So please welcome Deepak Kumar.
Hello. Hello. Am I audible? Hello everyone. Myself is Deepak Kumar and I am a development track competitor at Topcoder. Also a TCO22 finalist. I love to do web app, UI, UX and machine learning related stuffs. I belongs from a small village named Visnupur from district Sitamarhi, state Bihar. This is my short info and now I am talking about how I found Topcoder, participated in hackathons and won. So let's talk about how I found Topcoder. While watching YouTube video, I got an advertisement about Topcoder. I just click over it and sign up. How I participated and make the submissions. Actually, after sign up, I just explore the challenges section. There I saw a challenge. Actually, that was a hackathon, but that was in challenge section. TCO21 Velo by Weeks hackathon. I just click over it, go through the details, and just register it just for fun. I don't want to make any submissions that time, just register for fun. And on November 17, I just got the problem statement through the email. I just click over it and again just go through the description and problem statement. And then I search about what is Velo and what is transcription service. And then I got lots of information about Velo and transcription service. Then I think I should compete and I should make some submissions. Then I just started exploring more about Velo through the videos, through Velo documentations, and any others like forums and all. I I spend I spend about 24 hours to explore Velo, and then I spend 24 hours for making submissions. And on the November 19, I at the 5 p.m. I just make the final submissions. I don't believe I don't have any belief कि I become a winners. I just want if I go sixth position, that will also good for me. But reward ceremony on the November 20, and Adam Moorhead was the host of that ceremony. And the moment come, and Adam Moorhead just started distributing award. The sixth position come, fifth position come, fourth and third and second. I think I am not a winner. I just put my phone over the pillow and stop the reward ceremony. And then I heard a name as Deepak Kumar as a first prize winner. I just got shocked. I started shouting. That was the time 10 p.m. at the night. My mothers and my sisters just come to me and just hold me tightly. She think I got again sick. I got again the health related issues. And that's why she hold me tightly. And then I started crying like I got something, but my mother did not understand what actually I want to say. Then I tell to my mother, Mother, I won a hackathon, and this is about 4 lakhs prize. My mother don't believe he, she tells this is not true, but I try to manipulate her, and then my mother smiles. My mother smiles, my family smiles, and I got lots of self confidence in that moment only. The track I compete and earning while learning. Why I like Topcoder. I just wanted to explore all the things. I compete in development track. Only development track. I have learned a lot of things through Topcoder platform, such as Python, NLP, Wix Velo, Lighting.js, Power BI, Figma, ideation challenge, making PPT and all. And also I earned lots of money through Topcoder. A journey to become as Deepak Kumar. Actually, previously I was only Deepak Kumar. I don't have any tag. I don't have any fame. I don't have any recognition. I just only Deepak Kumar. My story, inspiration, and comeback. This is the exact thing I want to share with you all. Where do I come from? Actually, I come from very rural area. Since 15 or 17 years, my area not developed yet. We travel with buses, tempo, and all. We never travel with train because in my area, train is not there. I become, I belongs from very rural area. Every year, our peoples faces wrath of floods minimum 5 times. Yeah, in my area, there are some peoples working well in government sector. Yeah, I can say there is a IS in my area. But in technology, in terms of technology, our area is still a backward. No one, very less people know about technology. I can say point one or two people only. My educational background. Actually, I don't have any educational background. I studied till 10th standard only. I just left study due to my health condition and some others issue. How did I learn to code? Actually, I don't want to code. I don't know about what is coding and all. Okay. I just started my journey as a blogger and I write some blogs, some gossips over Bollywood. And the blogs was hit that time. Okay. But I did not get that much money that required. So I just want some create a website, and for this I just contact some developers and they charges me high. I can't pay them. So I think, okay, how can I so how become developer? It is easy to develop a website, but then I search how to become a developer. Then I just got a result or go to got a result from the Google that just start from the C, and I started a C class in Patna itself, and the teacher started teaching me C, but I don't get that much clarity how I develop a website through the C. In the middle of the C, my teacher tell me you can develop website through the C. I just left the C in the middle and go to the Hyderabad, and there I started Java and Android. Okay, and after that I think I can make a full-fledged application and website also. But really, I did not understand anything that time. I just enjoy the class. I just go through the class, but I did not understand a single things about how to code. Then my Java teacher, his name is Hari Krishna. See, he tells me a one sentence that changes my life. The sentence is, if you can't make yourself understandable, no one can make yourself understandable. This the thing, this line changes my whole life. This line changes my way of thinking. And after that, I never look back. I started learning day and night. I sleep at morning 8 a.m. and just learning through YouTube, through books, and through other resources. And at the end of 2018, I was a good developer. I can develop a full-fledged Android application and also a website. And my life, I think my life is totally set. But that time, in the start of 2019, I just got a ulcer, and cause of that, I have to take a rest, and I I took around 6 months of rest. After that, my father's got a bed rest. My father's leg was burnt through the acid, and my father got bed rest for a year. My family condition was very, very low. I, my thinking, my all the knowledge just got the shutdown. I think this is the end of our life. Then I think at the start of 2020, I should start again. And then I started developing a application, and the lockdown ruins everything. And I go, never go from the home till 6 months, and cause of corona only, and cause of that I got panic anxiety attack. The panic anxiety attack kills me every day. My mother's help me, my mother supports me for getting me bathroom. I was not able to wake up from the bed. I was broke from the all the sides. I just praying to God, hey God, just kill me, but don't give me these types of life. I struggled through August 2020 to September 2021, and then my friends Ravi and Virat came to me and helps and tell about just come to me Dehradun, and I go with them, and the environment, the airs, I got fresh airs, and my anxiety will started healing. And then I just came to my home in Diwali festival, and that time I had nothing to do. Then I started searching something about technology on the YouTube, and then I got Topcoder. And after that, you know all the story. How did I come back? I I don't want to come back. I just want to shut all the things. I don't, because I broke. I don't have any confidence to do it again and again, because since 2015 I got only failure and only got my life stuck. My health condition daily by daily just go down. I just want everything shut down. And then in my life, top coder come, and I came back into my life. I just won the hackathon, and not only won the hackathons, I just won the whole world in that one moment. I won the confidence, I won the everything in that moment. My inspiration, actually my inspiration is my father, my mother, and my peoples. Actually in my area every year's floods comes at least 5 times, but again every year's people's cropping with the hope. They never lose their hope. Then how can I lose my hope? The peoples from my area, my parents, they are my inspiration. What top coder gifted to me? Topcoder gifted me lots of things. I can't mention all the things here, but I wanna say something about self confidence. I got lots of self confidence. Now I can build anything. Now I can do anything. And that self confidence given by only Topcoder. I got next level smile, and my family also got. Now you can see in pictures. I just always smile. This smile is given by Topcoder. Thank you, Topcoder, for this crazy, for this limitless smile. Topcoder gives me recognition. I never think someone know me through my projects, but Topcoder make this possible for me. Now some people know me through my work. Thank you, Topcoder, for this also. Topcoder platform to learn, to earn while learn. And I got a platform. Here I learn the new things and I earn also. Now, Topcoder gave me a chance to speak the event. Thanks for this also. and community. Topcoder gives me an awesome community. They always supports me. I can't mention all the names here, but every people from the community always supports me. The community head, the community members, everyone always supports me in my career. Thank you for this also, Topcoder. Thank you, Topcoder, to come into my life. I never looked back after you came. Thank you for make my life beautiful. Thank you again. Thank you, MongoDB, and thank you everyone for listening me. Thank you again.
Hey guys, sorry. Hey guys, am I audible now? Hey, sorry about that. So we all heard such amazing story and such a huge comeback, and it was so amazing to hear about that. And there are many stories like that, and we all know that Topcoder does its best to transform the lives of people. So I'd like to take this moment to request all of you to spread the word, to spread that Topcoder is making such huge changes to the lives of peoples. And yeah, so now let's put all this knowledge that we already learned and that we have to practice. And I'll invite you to a schema design competition that we have that is going to be on paper and a drawing application. So it's very easy. So let's go. So I'd transfer from here, and let's start the competition now. Best of luck.